You know, right now, in this very moment, there's something weighing on your heart. There's something that's been keeping you up at night. There's a situation in your life that feels unbearable, and you've been carrying it around like a heavy stone, trying to figure it out, trying to control it, trying to make it turn out the way you think it should. And I want to tell you something that might just change everything for you today. It's time to put that burden down. It's time to leave it in God's hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but I've tried everything. I've prayed, I've hoped, I've worked so hard, and nothing's changed. And that's exactly the point. You've been trying to do it all yourself. You've been holding on so tight to your problems, to your pain, to your circumstances, that you've forgotten something fundamental about how this universe works. You've forgotten that there's a power greater than you, a wisdom far beyond your limited perspective, and an intelligence that orchestrates everything in perfect timing. When you're in pain, when you're hurting, when you're going through something that feels like it's tearing you apart, it's the most natural thing in the world to try to fix it yourself. We're conditioned to believe that we have to control everything, that we have to have all the answers, that if we just work hard enough, or think hard enough, or worry hard enough, we can somehow force life to bend to our will. But let me tell you something that's going to set you free. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. You were never designed to figure everything out by yourself. And the moment you truly understand this, the moment you really let it sink into your consciousness, everything shifts. God sees your pain. Every tear you've cried in the darkness, every moment you felt alone, every time your heart has broken into what feels like a million pieces, none of it has gone unnoticed. None of it has been ignored. The divine presence that created you, that breathed life into you, that knows every single hair on your head, sees everything you're going through. And not only does God see your pain, but God hears your cry. Every prayer, every desperate plea, every whispered help me in the middle of the night when you couldn't sleep, every single one has been heard. But here's where most people get stuck. They think that because they've prayed and things haven't changed yet, that God isn't listening. They think that because they're still in pain, still in the struggle, still in the darkness, that somehow they've been abandoned. And this couldn't be further from the truth. You see, God's timing is not your timing. God's ways are not your ways. And what you're perceiving as silence is actually the universe rearranging itself on your behalf. Think about it this way. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every single day to check if it's growing. You don't stand over it and worry and stress and try to force it to sprout faster. You plant it, you water it, you give it sunlight, and then you trust. You trust the process. You trust that beneath the surface, in the darkness of the soil, something miraculous is happening. The seed is breaking open, roots are forming, life is preparing to burst forth. But all of this happens in a time frame that the seed knows, not in the time frame you demand. Your life works the same way. The challenges you're facing right now, the pain you're experiencing, the situations that seem impossible, they're all seeds that have been planted. And yes, it's dark right now. Yes, it feels like nothing is happening. Yes, it seems like your prayers are falling on deaf ears. But I promise you, beneath the surface of what you can see, God is working. The universe is conspiring on your behalf. Things are shifting and changing and moving in ways that you cannot perceive with your limited human perspective. The problem is, we want instant results. We want our pain to disappear overnight. We want our problems solved immediately. We want what we want, and we want it now. And when it doesn't happen according to our schedule, we lose faith. We start to doubt. We begin to think that we're doing something wrong, or that we're not worthy, or that God has forgotten about us. But this is where we need to shift our understanding completely. Leaving it in God's hands doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It doesn't mean being passive or giving up or resigning yourself to misery. What it means is doing what you can do, taking the actions that are yours to take, and then releasing your attachment to the outcome. It means understanding that you're not the one in control of how things unfold. You're not the director of this movie. You're not the author who gets to write every single plot twist. You're a participant in a much larger story, and there's a wisdom guiding that story that's far greater than anything you could comprehend. When you truly leave something in God's hands, you're acknowledging that you don't have all the answers. You're admitting that your perspective is limited. You're recognizing that what you think you want might not actually be what's best for you. And this takes tremendous courage. It takes tremendous faith, because it means letting go of control. And for most of us, that's the scariest thing in the world. But here's what happens when you really do this. When you really surrender your burdens, when you really trust that God has got this, when you really believe that the universe is working for you and not against you, a weight lifts. The anxiety that's been crushing your chest starts to ease. The fear that's been keeping you paralyzed begins to fade. And in its place comes a peace that surpasses all understanding. Not because your circumstances have changed yet, but because your relationship to those circumstances has transformed. You stop waking up every morning with that immediate rush of dread. You stop going to bed every night with your mind racing through all the worst-case scenarios. You stop carrying that tension in your shoulders, that knot in your stomach, that heaviness in your heart, because you finally understood that this isn't all on you. You finally realized that you don't have to have all the figured out. You finally accepted that it's okay to not be in control. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop trying to control everything, the moment you surrender to the flow of life, the moment you trust in something greater than yourself, that's when things actually start to shift. That's when solutions appear that you never could have thought of. That's when doors open that you didn't even know existed. That's when people show up in your life who bring exactly what you need. That's when circumstances align in ways that seem almost miraculous. But you have to understand something important. God's plan for you might not look like your plan for you. The way your life unfolds might not match the picture you had in your mind. And this is actually a blessing, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time. Because your limited perspective can only see what you think you want based on your past experiences, your conditioning, your fears, and your ego's desires. But God sees the bigger picture. God knows what you actually need to grow, to evolve, to become the person you're meant to be. Sometimes what looks like a rejection is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually divine timing. Sometimes what seems like a door closing is actually the universe redirecting you to something better. But you can't see this when you're in the middle of the pain. You can't understand it when you're in the thick of the struggle. You can only see it when you look back, when you're on the other side, when you realize that everything happened exactly as it needed to happen. I know you're hurting right now. I know you're tired. I know you've been strong for so long and you just want this to be over. I know you've been praying and hoping and doing everything you know how to do, and you're exhausted. And I want you to know that it's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel weak. It's okay to admit that you can't do this alone. Because that admission, that vulnerability, that honest acknowledgement of your limitations, that's not weakness. That's actually the beginning of true strength. True strength isn't about never breaking. It's not about always being in control. It's not about having all the answers or never showing your pain. True strength is about knowing when to hold on and when to let go. It's about doing your part and then trusting God to do the rest. It's about being willing to walk through the darkness with faith, even when you can't see where you're going. And faith, real faith, isn't about being certain of the outcome. It's not about knowing exactly how things are going to turn out. Real faith is about trusting the process even when you can't see the result. It's about believing that you're being guided even when the path is unclear. It's about knowing that you're being held even when you feel like you're falling. You see, God hears your cry not just as sound, but as the deepest longing of your soul. And the response isn't always what you expect. Sometimes the answer to your prayer isn't getting what you asked for. Sometimes the answer is getting what you need. Sometimes the answer is developing the strength to handle whatever comes. Sometimes the answer is learning to find peace regardless of your circumstances. Sometimes the answer is becoming a different person, someone who no longer needs the situation to change in order to be okay. This is the transformation that happens when you truly leave it in God's hands. You stop being controlled by your circumstances. You stop letting external conditions determine your internal state. You start to understand that peace isn't something you find when everything works out the way you want. Peace is something you cultivate from within, regardless of what's happening around you. And I want to be clear about something. Leaving it in God's hands doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become cold or detached or indifferent. It means you care deeply, you give it your all, you do everything that's genuinely yours to do, and then you release the outcome. You trust that whatever happens, even if it's not what you wanted, even if it's not what you expected, it's what's needed for your highest good and your greatest growth. Think about the times in your life when things didn't work out the way you planned. Think about the times when you were devastated because something you wanted so badly didn't happen. or something you loved so much was taken away. Now look at where you are today. Can you see how those moments, as painful as they were, led you to something better? Can you see how those closed doors eventually led you to open windows? Can you see how what felt like the worst thing that could happen actually became a turning point? This is the pattern of how life works when you're aligned with the divine flow. This is what happens when you trust in something greater than yourself. This is the evidence that God is always working on your behalf, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when you can't see it, even when you want to give up. Your pain is not permanent. Your struggle is not your identity. Your current circumstances are not your final destination. They're just a chapter in your story, and the author of your story is writing something far more beautiful than you could write for yourself. But you have to let the story unfold. You have to stop trying to skip ahead to the end. You have to stop trying to rewrite every scene that doesn't match your expectations. When you're going through difficult times, it's easy to forget who you really are. It's easy to get so consumed by the problem that you lose sight of your own divine nature. But you are not your problems. You are not your pain. You are not your circumstances. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that spiritual essence within you is connected to the same power that created galaxies and orchestrates the perfect harmony of nature. That means you have access to infinite wisdom. You have access to unlimited strength. You have access to a peace that exists beyond all understanding. But you can only access these things when you get out of your own way. You can only tap into this power when you stop trying to do everything yourself. You can only experience this peace when you surrender your need to control. And surrender is not defeat. Let me say that again because this is so important. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is not admitting failure. Surrender is acknowledging that there's a greater intelligence at work and you're choosing to align with it rather than fight against it. Surrender is the ultimate act of faith. It's saying, I trust that I'm being taken care of even when I can't see how. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good, even when it doesn't look like it. I trust that God has got this, even when I feel lost. This trust, this faith, this willingness to surrender, it changes everything. It changes your energy. It changes how you show up in the world. It changes what you attract into your life. Because when you're not desperately clinging and grasping and forcing and controlling, you create space for miracles to happen. You create an opening for grace to flow in. You become a vessel through which the divine can work. And God is always trying to work through you. God is always trying to guide you. God is always trying to show you the way. But if you're too busy running around in fear and panic and anxiety, if you're too caught up in your own limited thinking and your own desperate attempts to fix everything, you can't hear the guidance. You can't see the signs. You can't feel the nudges that are trying to point you in the right direction. Leaving it in God's hands creates the stillness necessary to receive divine guidance. It creates the calm necessary to hear the whispers of intuition. It creates the clarity necessary to see the path that's being illuminated for you. And when you start to see these things, when you start to notice the synchronicities and the small miracles and the perfect timing of events, your faith deepens. Your trust strengthens. Your peace expands. You start to realize that you're never alone. You start to understand that you're always supported. You start to recognize that even in your darkest moments, even when you felt abandoned, even when you thought no one could possibly understand what you were going through, God was there. God was holding you. God was carrying you through. And those prayers you thought weren't being answered, they were being answered all along, just not in the way you expected. Not in the timing you demanded, not in the form you thought you needed, but in the way that was actually best for you, in the timing that was actually perfect for your growth, in the form that was actually aligned with your highest good. Every single thing you've been through has been preparing you for something. Every challenge has been teaching you something. Every hardship has been strengthening you in some way. And I know it's hard to see this when you're in the middle of the storm. I know it's difficult to believe this when you're drowning in pain, but it's true nonetheless. Your struggles are not punishments. Your difficulties are not evidence that you've done something wrong or that you're not worthy or that God has turned away from you. They're invitations to grow. They're opportunities to develop faith. They're chances to discover strength you didn't know you had. They're doorways to a deeper understanding of yourself and your connection to the recite. Divine. And when you can shift your perspective to see your challenges this way, when you can reframe your pain as a catalyst for transformation, when you can view your struggles as sacred assignments rather than cruel punishments, everything changes. The same circumstances that were making you bitter start making you better. The same situations that were filling you with resentment start filling you with resilience. The same experiences that were breaking you down start building you up. This is the alchemy that happens when you truly leave it in God's hands. This is the magic that occurs when you surrender your burdens and trust the process. You don't become someone who never has problems. You become someone who handles problems differently. You don't become someone who never feels pain. You become someone who moves through pain with more grace. You don't become someone who never struggles. You become someone who struggles with faith instead of fear. And faith isn't the absence of doubt. Faith isn't pretending everything is fine when it's not. Faith isn't forcing yourself to smile when you want to cry. Real faith is being honest about where you are while still trusting where you're going. Real faith is acknowledging the difficulty while still believing in the possibility. Real faith is feeling the pain while still holding on to hope. Hope is not naive optimism. Hope is not denying reality. Hope is a spiritual practice. It's a choice you make every single day to believe that things can get better, even when you have no evidence. It's a decision to keep going, even when you're exhausted. It's a commitment to trust, even when you're scared. And every time you choose hope over despair, every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose to trust God instead of trying to control everything yourself, you're building your spiritual strength. You're deepening your connection to the divine. You're becoming more aligned with your true nature. And this alignment is what ultimately brings the peace you're seeking. Because peace was never meant to come from having a perfect life. Peace was never meant to come from having all your problems solved. Peace was never meant to come from getting everything you want exactly when you want it. Peace comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. Peace comes from trusting that you're being guided. Peace comes from believing that God has got you, and God does have you. Right now, in this moment, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of how bad things look, regardless of how much pain you're in, God has you. You are held, you are loved, you are supported. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. The divine presence that breathed life into you at the beginning is with you now and will be with you always. This presence knows your name. This presence feels your pain. This presence hears your cry. And this presence is working on your behalf in ways you cannot see, in dimensions you cannot perceive, through means you cannot understand. Your job is not to figure it all out. Your job is not to make it all happen. Your job is not to force and push and control. Your job is to show up. Your job is to do the next right thing. Your job is to take one step at a time. And then your job is to trust, to have faith, to leave it in God's hands. When you do this, when you really do this, you'll start to notice things. You'll start to see how you're being guided. You'll start to recognize how doors are opening at exactly the right time. You'll start to realize how people are showing up with exactly what you need. You'll start to understand how everything is connected, how everything is orchestrated, how nothing is random. You'll look back at the times you thought you were lost, and you'll see that you were actually being redirected. You'll look back at the times you thought you were broken, and you'll see that you were actually being rebuilt into something stronger. You'll look back at the times you thought God wasn't listening, and you'll see that you were being heard all along. This is the perspective that comes with time and faith. This is the wisdom that comes from trusting the process. This is the peace that comes from leaving it in God's hands. And it's available to you right now, not someday when everything works out, not eventually when all your problems are solved. Right now, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. You don't have to wait until you're perfect to trust God. You don't have to wait until you have it all figured out to have faith. You don't have to wait until your life looks a certain way to surrender your burdens. You can do it now. You can do it right in the middle of your mess. You can do it while you're still hurting, while you're still struggling, while you're still scared. In fact, that's the best time to do it. When you're at the end of your rope, when you've tried everything else, when you have nowhere else to turn, that's when surrender becomes real. That's when faith becomes genuine. That's when trust becomes transformative. So if you're there right now, if you're at that place where you can't carry this anymore, if you're at that point where you need help, if you're at that moment where you're ready to let go, I want you to know that this is not a sign of weakness. This is a sign of wisdom. This is not giving up. This is waking up. This is not failure. This is faith. Take whatever burden you've been carrying and mentally place it in God's hands. See yourself physically taking this weight off your shoulders and giving it over to a power greater than yourself. Feel the relief that comes with releasing control. Feel the peace that flows in when you stop resisting. Feel the love that surrounds you when you remember you're not alone. And then, after you've surrendered it, after you've released it, after you've left it in God's hands, let it stay there. Don't pick it back up 5 minutes later. Don't take it back because you're nervous about how things will turn out. Don't grab onto it again because you think you know better. Let it go. Really let it go. Trust that it's being handled. Trust that it's being worked out. Trust that God's got this. This doesn't mean you'll never think about it again. It doesn't mean you'll never feel concerned. It doesn't mean you become completely detached. It means that when the worry comes back, when the fear creeps in, when the anxiety starts to rise, you notice it, you acknowledge it, and then you consciously choose to release it again. You say, no, I already gave this to God. I'm trusting the process. I'm having faith. And you do this as many times as necessary. This is the practice. This is the spiritual work. This is how you build your faith muscles and strengthen your trust and deepen your connection to the divine. Every time you catch yourself trying to take back control and you consciously choose to surrender again, you're growing. You're evolving. You're becoming more aligned with your true spiritual nature. This is not always easy. Some days it will feel natural and peaceful. Other days it will feel impossible and you'll struggle. And that's okay. That's part of being human. What matters is that you keep coming back to it. You keep choosing faith. You keep trusting. You keep leaving it in God's hands. And over time, something beautiful happens. The peace that felt temporary starts to feel more permanent. The trust that felt shaky starts to feel more solid. The faith that felt weak starts to feel stronger. And you realize that you're changing. Not because your circumstances have necessarily changed, but because you have changed. Your relationship with life has changed. Your understanding of how the universe works has changed. Your connection to God has changed. You're no longer someone who falls apart at every obstacle. You're no longer someone who's controlled by fear. You're no longer someone who thinks they have to do everything alone. You've become someone who knows how to surrender. You've become someone who understands the power of faith. You've become someone who trusts that they're always being guided and supported by something greater than themselves. This transformation is what's waiting for you on the other side of surrender. This peace is what's available when you truly leave it in God's hands. This strength is what you discover when you stop trying to be strong all by yourself and instead allow yourself to be strengthened by divine power. So let go, release your grip, open your hands, stop fighting so hard, stop trying to control what you cannot control. Stop carrying burdens you were never meant to carry alone. Put them down, hand them over. Leave them in God's hands. Trust that you are seen, trust that you are heard, trust that you are loved, trust that you are guided, trust that everything is working out for your highest good, even if you can't see how yet. Trust that your prayers are being answered, even if not in the way you expected. Trust that your pain has purpose, even if you don't understand it yet. And most of all, trust that you are not alone. You have never been alone. In your darkest moments, in your deepest pain, in your greatest struggles, God has been there. God has seen every tear. God has heard every cry. God has felt every heartbreak. And God is working on your behalf right now, in this very moment, arranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, preparing blessings that you cannot yet imagine. Your job is simply to trust, to have faith, to keep going, to take one step at a time, and to leave the rest in God's hands. Do this, and you will find peace. Do this, and you will find strength. Do this, and you will find that you're capable of handling whatever life brings your way. Not because you're doing it alone, but because you finally understood that you never had to. You were always meant to walk this path hand in hand with the divine, supported by infinite love, guided by infinite wisdom, held by infinite grace. Leave it in God's hands and watch what happens. Watch how things shift. Watch how doors open. Watch how solutions appear. Watch how your burden lifts. Watch how your peace deepens. Watch how your faith grows. Watch how your life transforms. Not always in the ways you expect, but always in the ways you need. Always at the perfect time. Always for your highest good. Always with love. Always with purpose. Always with grace. This is the promise. This is the truth. This is the way. Leave it in God's hands and trust that you are being taken care of, because you are. Right now. Always. Forever. Something magnificent is happening in your life right now, at this very moment. You may not see it yet, you may not feel it yet, but there is a shift taking place in the invisible world that is about to become visible in your physical reality. The universe is conspiring on your behalf. God is preparing something so beautiful, so perfect, so beyond what your mind can comprehend, that when it arrives, you will fall to your knees in gratitude. You see, there's a power in this universe that wants you to succeed. There's an intelligence that wants you to thrive. There's a loving presence that wants to shower you with blessings beyond measure. But here's what most people don't understand. You have to align yourself with this power. You have to become a vibrational match to the miracles that are waiting for you. Right now, in this moment, you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough. Everything that has happened in your life up until this point has been preparing you for what's coming. Next. Every struggle, every setback, every disappointment, every tear you've cried, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you felt alone, all of it was shaping you, molding you, preparing you for the greatness that is about to unfold. But you have to understand something crucial. The way you've been thinking, the way you've been living, the way you've been approaching your life, that has to change. You cannot continue doing the same things and expect different results. You cannot continue thinking the same thoughts and expect a different life. You cannot continue being the same person and expect transformation. God is about to surprise you, but you have to be ready to receive the surprise. You have to open your hands, open your heart, open your mind to possibilities that you've never considered before. You have to be willing to let go of the old story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. For years, you've been carrying around beliefs that don't serve you. You've been holding on to ideas about yourself that were given to you by other people. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, society. They all told you who you were supposed to be. They told you what was possible for you. They told you what you could achieve and what was out of your reach. And you believed them. You took those beliefs and you made them your own. You built a life around those limitations. But those beliefs are not the truth. They are just thoughts. And thoughts can be changed. Every single thought you think is creating your reality. Every single thought is sending out a vibration into the universe, and the universe is responding to that vibration. If you're thinking thoughts of lack, you'll experience lack. If you're thinking thoughts of limitation, you'll experience limitation. If you're thinking thoughts of fear, you'll experience fear. But here's the beautiful truth. If you think thoughts of abundance, you'll experience abundance. If you think thoughts of possibility, you'll experience possibility. If you think thoughts of love, you'll experience love. It's that simple. It's a law of the universe. It's how everything works. God is not separate from you. God is not some old man sitting on a throne in the sky judging you. God is the very essence of who you are. God is the life force that flows through you. God is the intelligence that beats your heart without you having to think about it. God is the power that grows your hair, digests your food, heals your wounds. God is the creative force that exists within you right now. And this God force within you wants to express itself. It wants to create through you. It wants to manifest miracles through you. It wants to use you as an instrument of divine expression. But you have to get out of the way. You have to stop blocking the flow with your limited thinking. You have to stop interfering with the natural unfolding of your destiny with your doubts and your fears and your worries. Your life is about to change forever, but you have to make a decision. You have to decide right now, in this moment, that you are going to trust. You are going to trust that there is a power greater than yourself that is working on your behalf. You are going to trust that everything is happening for your highest good. You are going to trust that even when things don't make sense, even when things look like they're falling apart, they are actually falling into place. Think about your life right now. Think about all the things you're worried about. Think about all the problems you're facing. Think about all the challenges that seem insurmountable. Now, I want you to understand something. Those problems, those challenges, those obstacles, they are not there to defeat you. They are there to develop you. They are there to make you stronger. They are there to prepare you for the next level of your life. You cannot have a testimony without a test. You cannot have a victory without a battle. You cannot have a breakthrough without something to break through. So instead of cursing your challenges, start blessing them. Instead of resenting your struggles, start appreciating them. They are the very things that are going to catapult you into your destiny. God is about to surprise you with opportunities you never expected. God is about to open doors that you thought were permanently closed. God is about to bring people into your life who will change everything. God is about to shift circumstances in your favor. God is about to turn your mess into your message. God is about to turn your pain into your purpose. God is about to turn your test into your testimony. But you have to do your part. You have to align yourself with this divine flow. You have to become the person who is ready to receive these blessings. You can't stay the same and expect your life to change. You have to change first. You have to become the change you want to see in your life. This means you have to change your thoughts. You have to become vigilant about what you allow into your mind. You have to stop entertaining thoughts that don't serve your highest good. When a thought of fear comes in, replace it with a thought of faith. When a thought of doubt comes in, replace it with a thought of trust. When a thought of lack comes in, replace it with a thought of abundance. You have to understand that you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creator of your circumstances. Everything in your life is there because on some level, you invited it. On some level, you matched the vibration of it. On some level, you believed it was possible for you. So if you don't like what you're experiencing, change your vibration, change your thoughts, change your beliefs. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how hard things are for me. And you're right. I don't know your specific situation. But I know this. There are people who have been through worse than you who have created beautiful lives. There are people who started with less than you, who have achieved more than you can currently comprehend. There are people who faced obstacles bigger than yours, who overcame them and went on to do extraordinary things. What made the difference for them? They made a decision. They decided that their circumstances were not going to define them. They decided that their past was not going to determine their future. They decided that no matter what happened to them, no matter what they went through, no matter how many times they failed, they were going to keep going. They were going to keep believing. They were going to keep trusting that something better was possible. And that's the decision you need to make right now. You need to decide that your life is going to change. Not hope that it will change, not wish that it would change. Decide that it will change. Make a commitment to yourself that you are going to do whatever it takes to create the life you desire. God is about to surprise you, but surprises come to those who are expecting them. Surprises come to those who are living in a state of anticipation. Surprises come to those who believe that good things are always happening for them. So, start living with expectancy. Start looking for the good. Start believing that miracles are your natural state of being. You know what's been holding you back? It's not lack of resources. It's not lack of opportunity. It's not lack of talent or ability. What's been holding you back is lack of belief. You haven't fully believed that you deserve the life you desire. You haven't fully believed that you are worthy of all the good that life has to offer. You haven't fully believed that you are a divine being capable of creating miracles. But you are. You are a child of the Most High. You are made in the image and likeness of the Creator. You have the same creative power that created the universe flowing through you right now. You have the ability to transform your life completely. You have the power to manifest anything you desire. You have the capacity to become anything you choose to become. The only thing stopping you is you. The only thing standing between you and the life of your dreams is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. It's the excuses you keep making. It's the reasons you keep giving for why things are the way they are. It's the blame you keep placing on other people or circumstances or your past. But here's what I want you to understand. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes. The moment you stop blaming and start claiming, everything shifts. The moment you realize that you have the power to create your reality, you become unstoppable. Your life is about to change forever because you are about to change forever. You are about to step into a new level of consciousness. You are about to see yourself and your life from a completely different perspective. You are about to realize that you are not separate from God. You are an expression of God. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. This means that everything you need is already within you. You don't have to go looking for it outside of yourself. You don't have to wait for someone else to give it to you. You don't have to prove yourself worthy of it. It's already yours. It's your birthright. It's your natural inheritance as a spiritual being having a human experience. But you have to claim it. You have to step into it. You have to own it. You have to start living as if it's already true. You have to start thinking as if you already have what you desire. You have to start feeling as if your dreams have already come true. You have to start acting as if you are already the person you want to become. This is not being fake. This is not pretending. This is aligning yourself with the truth of who you really are. The truth is that you are already whole, already complete, already perfect. You are just remembering who you are. You are just removing the layers of false beliefs that have been covering up your true nature. God is about to surprise you with the realization that you never needed to be fixed. You were never broken. You were just asleep. You were just believing in a dream of limitation. You were just convinced that you were small and powerless and insignificant. But you are none of those things. You are vast and powerful and significant. You are a miracle walking on this earth. And the greatest surprise of all is that you get to choose your reality. You get to decide how your story unfolds. You get to write the script of your life. Nobody else has that power over you unless you give it to them. Nobody else can tell you what your life should look like unless you allow them to. Nobody else can limit your potential unless you agree with their limitations. So stop agreeing with anything that doesn't match the life you want to create. Stop accepting anything less than what you truly desire. Stop settling for a life that doesn't light you up, that doesn't excite you, that doesn't make you feel alive. You deserve more. You are worthy of more. You are capable of more. Your life is about to change forever. And the change begins with a simple shift in your thinking. It begins with the decision to see yourself differently. It begins with the choice to believe in possibilities that you've been dismissing. It begins with the willingness to let go of the old you and step into the new you. Who is this new you? This new you is confident. This new you is bold. This new you is fearless. This new you trusts the process of life. This new you knows that everything is always working out for their highest good. This new you doesn't worry about how things are going to happen. This new you just focuses on what they want and trusts that the universe will handle the details. This new you doesn't need validation from others. This new you doesn't need approval from the world. This new you doesn't need permission to be great. This new you just is great. This new you knows their worth. This new you knows their value. This new you knows their power. And here's what happens when you step into this new version of yourself. Your external reality begins to match your internal reality. The world around you begins to reflect the world within you. Opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. People start showing up who can help you. Resources start flowing to you. Doors start opening that you didn't even know existed. This is not magic. This is not luck. This is universal law. This is how energy works. When you change your vibration, you change what you attract. When you change your thoughts, you change your reality. When you change your beliefs, you change your life. God is about to surprise you because you are about to become a different person. You are about to operate from a different level of consciousness. You are about to see with new eyes and hear with new ears and feel with a new heart. You are about to experience life in a way you never have before. And this experience is going to be so beautiful, so fulfilling, so joyful that you're going to wonder why you waited so long to make this shift. You're going to look back on your life and you're going to see that everything, absolutely everything, was perfectly orchestrated to bring you to this moment. You're going to see that there were no mistakes. You're going to see that there were no accidents. You're going to see that everything was exactly as it needed to be. But you're not going to wait until later to appreciate your life. You're going to start appreciating it right now. You're going to start being grateful for everything you have right now. You're going to start celebrating your life right now. Because gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to more blessings. Appreciation is the magnet that attracts more things to appreciate. When you focus on what you have, you get more of what you have. When you focus on what you lack, you get more of what you lack. So start focusing on the good in your life. Start noticing all the blessings that are already present. Start acknowledging all the ways that God has already been taking care of you. You have air to breathe. You have a heart that beats. You have eyes that see. You have ears that hear. You have the ability to think and feel and create. You have so much to be grateful for. And when you start from a place of gratitude, everything shifts. Your energy shifts. Your vibration shifts. Your reality shifts. God is about to surprise you with an avalanche of blessings. God is about to pour out favor upon your life in ways you never expected. God is about to show you what it means to be truly loved, truly supported, truly cared for by the universe. But you have to be ready. You have to be open. You have to be receptive. This means you have to let go of control. You have to stop trying to force things to happen. You have to stop trying to manipulate outcomes. You have to stop trying to figure everything out with your logical mind. Your logical mind is limited. Your logical mind only knows what it's already experienced. Your logical mind cannot comprehend the miracles that are about to unfold in your life. So you have to learn to trust your intuition. You have to learn to follow your inner guidance. You have to learn to listen to that still small voice within you that knows the way. That voice is God speaking to you. That voice is your higher self guiding you. That voice is the wisdom of the universe flowing through you. When you follow that voice, you can't go wrong. When you trust that guidance, you will always be led to your highest good. When you surrender to that flow, life becomes effortless. Things start happening for you instead of to you. Synchronicities become the norm. Miracles become your everyday experience. Your life is about to change forever because you are about to stop living from your ego and start living from your spirit. Your ego is the part of you that's afraid, that doubts, that worries, that believes in separation. Your spirit is the part of you that knows you are one with all that is, that trusts completely, that lives in peace, that believes in infinite possibilities. When you live from your spirit, you access a power that the ego cannot comprehend. When you live from your spirit, you tap into a source of creativity and inspiration that never runs dry. When you live from your spirit, you become a channel for divine expression. You become a vessel for miracles. You become a conduit for love and light and healing in this world. And that's what God is calling you to do. God is calling you to step up. God is calling you to rise up. God is calling you to show up as the magnificent being that you truly are. God is calling you to stop hiding, stop playing small, stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. The world needs you to shine. The world needs your gifts. The world needs your unique expression. There is something that only you can do. There is something that only you can contribute. There is a way that only you can touch hearts and change lives. And if you don't step into that, if you don't claim that, if you don't live that, the world will be missing something precious. God is about to surprise you by showing you the magnitude of your impact. God is about to show you how many lives you've touched without even knowing it. God is about to show you how much you matter. God is about to show you that you are not insignificant. You are not unimportant. You are not just one person among billions. You are a unique expression of the divine. You are irreplaceable. You are invaluable. You are loved beyond measure. And when you truly grasp this, when you truly understand this, when you truly feel this in every cell of your being, your life will never be the same. You will walk differently. You will talk differently. You will carry yourself differently. You will make decisions differently. You will relate to others differently. You will experience life differently because you will know who you are. You will know whose you are. You will know that you are a beloved child of the universe, here for a purpose, here for a reason, here to make a difference. And that difference starts with you. It starts with how you treat yourself. It starts with how you talk to yourself. It starts with how you think about yourself. You cannot give to others what you don't have yourself. You cannot love others if you don't love yourself. You cannot help others if you're not helping yourself first. So make yourself a priority. Take care of yourself. Nourish yourself. Honor yourself. Respect yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone you love deeply. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to your best friend. Think about yourself the way you would think about someone you admire. This is not selfish, this is self-love. And self-love is the foundation of everything. When you love yourself, you raise your vibration. When you honor yourself, you tell the universe that you are worthy. When you take care of yourself, you model for others how they should treat you. God is about to surprise you with relationships that honor you, support you, celebrate you. God is about to remove people from your life who drain you, diminish you, discourage you. God is about to surround you with a tribe of like-minded souls who believe in you, who see your potential, who encourage your growth. But first, you have to become that person for yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to see your own potential. You have to encourage your own growth. You cannot wait for others to validate you. You cannot wait for others to tell you that you're worthy. You cannot wait for others to give you permission to be great. You have to validate yourself. You have to affirm your own worth. You have to give yourself permission to be everything you were created to be. And when you do this, when you step into your power, when you own your magnificence, the right people will show up. The right opportunities will appear. The right circumstances will align. Your life is about to change forever because you are about to remember who you really are. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are not your doubts. You are not your limitations. Those are just experiences you've had. They are not who you are. Who you are is pure potential. Who you are is infinite possibility. Who you are is unlimited creativity. Who you are is boundless love. Who you are is divine expression. Who you are is a miracle. And miracles don't struggle. Miracles don't worry. Miracles don't doubt. Miracles just happen naturally when you align yourself with your true nature. So align yourself. Line up with the truth of who you are. Stop fighting against the current of life. Stop resisting what is. Stop pushing and forcing and trying so hard. Instead, flow, allow, receive, trust, surrender, let go. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the need to know how things are going to work out. Let go of the need to have all the answers. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the need to prove yourself. Let go of the need to be perfect. Just be. Just be yourself. Just be present. Just be open. Just be willing. Just be available for the miracles that are trying to find you, because they are trying to find you. They are knocking on your door. They are waiting for you to answer. They are ready to flood into your life, but you have to open the door. You have to say yes. You have to be willing to receive. So many people pray for blessings, but then when the blessings come, they don't recognize them. They're looking for blessings to show up in a certain way, in a certain form, at a certain time, but blessings often come disguised as something else. Sometimes a blessing looks like a closed door. Sometimes a blessing looks like a loss. Sometimes a blessing looks like a setback. Sometimes a blessing looks like a challenge, but it's still a blessing because it's redirecting you, protecting you, preparing you for something better. God is about to surprise you by showing you that what you thought was a curse was actually a blessing. What you thought was the worst thing that ever happened to you was actually the best thing that ever happened to you. What you thought was ruining your life was actually saving your life. You just couldn't see it at the time. You couldn't understand it at the time. But now you're going to see it. Now you're going to understand it. Now you're going to look back and you're going to say, thank God that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Thank God that door closed. Thank God that person left. Thank God that job ended. Because if it hadn't, I wouldn't be where I am now. And where you are now is exactly where you need to be. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing out. You are right on time. Everything is unfolding in divine timing. Everything is happening in perfect order. Everything is working together for your good. So stop comparing yourself to others. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Stop thinking you should be further along than you are. You are exactly where you need to be right now. And where you're going is going to blow your mind. God is about to surprise you with opportunities that exceed your expectations. God is about to open doors that are bigger than you imagined. God is about to bless you in ways that are better than you prayed for. God is about to give you the desires of your heart and then some. But you have to maintain your faith. You have to keep believing even when you don't see evidence yet. You have to keep trusting even when things look impossible. You have to keep hoping even when everyone around you has given up hope. Because your faith is what creates your reality. Your belief is what manifests your desires. Your trust is what allows the miracles to unfold. And they are unfolding right now. Even if you can't see them yet, they are happening. Behind the scenes, in the invisible realm, things are being arranged on your behalf. Pieces are being moved into place. People are being positioned. Circumstances are being orchestrated. Everything is being set up for your breakthrough. You are standing on the edge of a miracle. You are about to witness the supernatural working in your life. You are about to experience things that defy logic, that defy explanation, that defy understanding. You are about to see the hand of God moving in your situation. But you have to stay in faith. You have to keep your vibration high. You have to guard your thoughts. You have to protect your energy. You have to be careful what you allow into your consciousness. Don't watch the news all day. Don't listen to negative people all day. Don't rehearse your problems all day. Instead, focus on solutions. Focus on possibilities. Focus on what's going right in your life. Focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on the good that you want to create. What you focus on expands. What you give attention to grows. So give your attention to what you want more of. Your life is about to change forever, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be more than you hoped for. It's going to be better than you dreamed. It's going to be beyond anything you could have planned or orchestrated on your own. Because when God surprises you, it's always exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. So get ready. Prepare yourself. Open your heart. Expand your mind. Raise your expectations, because something amazing is about to happen. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is on the way. Your blessing is about to manifest. Your life is about to change forever. And when it does, remember this moment. Remember when you were struggling, when you were doubting, when you were wondering if things would ever get better. Remember so that you can encourage others. Remember so that you can testify to the goodness of God. Remember so that you can help others believe that miracles are possible for them too, because that's part of your purpose. That's part of your calling. You're not just being blessed so you can have a better life. You're being blessed so you can be a blessing. You're being healed so you can help heal others. You're being lifted so you can lift others. You're being transformed so you can show others that transformation is possible. God is about to surprise you, and the surprise is that your life was never really about you. It was always about what you could give, what you could share, what you could contribute. It was always about being a vessel, a channel, an instrument of divine love in this world. It was always about making a difference, leaving a legacy, touching lives. And that's what's about to happen. You're about to step into your purpose. You're about to walk in your calling. You're about to live the life you were meant to live. Not the life others expected you to live, not the life society told you to live, but the life that your soul has been yearning for all along. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt keep you stuck. Step out. Step up. Step into everything that's waiting for you. Because it's all there. It's all available. It's all possible. God is about to surprise you, and your life is about to change forever. Believe it. Receive it. Live it. This is your reality now. This is your truth now. This is your life now. Changed. Transformed. Renewed. Forever.